Alexandra and I were talking before we went live about what we will talk about. And I had a cool thought. And I was like, I'm going to wait to say this on the live. And then it
Walking
left.
tower moment.
Walking tower moment. Yeah. Well, I don't know if this was the thought, but it's a new thought. Or maybe the old one. Who knows? Who cares? Um, I think I became a walking tower moment before I ever realized that's what I was. Is that how it was for you?
Yes. I didn't understand it until after. I'm like,
Oh, it makes so much more sense, right? Like, this is why people respond to me in this way. Yeah. Well,
like, yeah, sorry.
how would you define it? Just so we're like laying the groundwork here.
Taking it to the ground level, huh? Um, it's being a catalyst in somebody's life,
Mm,
right? Coming in and it truly almost feel like our energies in our light does it on a much deeper level. And then obviously it's like whatever our own experiences were, whatever we have been through, it's like when we meet that person that hasn't gone through that and then is
mm.
touched by the light, it's like they retreat, and then they have to like go through their freaking dark night of the soul or some metamorphosis, right? It's being that catalyst, right? Like I don't know, that's the best way that I can kind of define it, right? How about you?
Well, I got a song in my head now.
Oh, yeah.
Do I know it? I don't know. It's blinded by the light. It's an old song.
Yes.
Do you I
Yes.
don't know who sings it. I don't know
I don't know
shit.
either, but
Besides
like
that,
just that line resonates so much. It's it's interesting because I've made that's what's been coming through me, like a lot of that and also a lot of love messages, which I guess, you know what, it's really all tied. Because
yes.
I tend to find, and I wonder if it's the same for you, Joy, I tend to find that, like, I end up being a catalyst slash tower moment for a lot of men, actually, in my life.
Yeah.
Like, perhaps, yes, there were some friendships, but then they completely dissolved out of my life, right? So I'm not really
With men
sure.
or women
I
or
mean,
both.
both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Both. But I tend to find that I can see it more in men.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Um, well, this year, I mean, I've written about this and everything. Like, I was told back in like February, like, you're gonna have a bunch of men like find you, right? And I'm just like, why?
I don't want them.
Like, well, I was married at the time, and it was just like, it was men. Why do I don't really need to talk to men. Like, why do I care about this? And so I had to do some work on that, right? And I did, and there they were. They started showing up. But I mainly find them, or they find me on Substack, right? Which we're already on, or LinkedIn, and occasionally like TikTok. Um, but then like I would meet one man, and then he would introduce me to other men. It wasn't even like, but it wasn't all like
Yeah, yeah.
it wasn't romantic,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Now newly separated Joy kind of went there a little bit, right? But no, I think it was more one because I was the Tower Moment catalyst, and energetically they needed to touch my frequency and have that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's also a lot of soul recognition and like, are we? I had they it seemed like this is I'm glossing over. Not every dude was like this, but it was like they all had some idea that or some idea, some project that could use help or support.
Mhm.
And it was like I didn't even ask, and they're just telling me about it, right? And I'm like, "Who am I? I was a stay-at-home mom. Why are you telling your cool ass, technology, whatever, I don't even know." Um, but I mean, I would listen, right? And I
Mhm.
eventually started meeting so many different guys from all these different things, and I was like, "Oh, well, they need to talk to that guy." Like, and I started becoming the networker,
I
and
do the same thing. It's so interesting. Sorry, I just have to say, I'm like, oh my God, I do the same thing.
no, I think we have the same function, basically.
Yes, I think so.
And eventually, like, in the height of the summer, I was there was just so many, so
Mhm.
like, too many coming. I eventually just made a Discord, which is now, like, dead, but at the time, I was like, "Just put them all in there and let you meet each other," because, like, I can't. This is too many people to be connecting, and I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I'll be like, "Hmm, this guy feels energetically like this guy," and their ideas, if they were to talk and really, like, hash it out and brainstorm, oh my god, they would make this beautiful creation, and they both know what they're talking about. But you know what? It didn't always work out. They actually never they usually did not get along the
Oh,
way I thought
yeah.
they could, right? And that's been another thing, like, I've noticed or I've had other friends even mention to me, like, "You can be friends with a lot of different people, and, they understand you." Like, I had Mark Davy on my podcast, right, the other day, and I had somebody be like, "I can't, I'm not into the glyphs. I don't understand him and, like, what he's doing," and I'm like, I'm not necessarily a glyph person, but I get Mark. I don't know why. I get Mark. I understand it. It's beautiful ass shit to me, right? Um, but I'm like, wow, I guess if they went to talk to Mark, it might not
Yeah, yeah,
be the
yeah.
same, and I get that because we're all different, right? But I don't know. I'm rambling on. What do
No,
you,
no. I mean, I totally understand what you're saying because it's funny. Like I said, I resonate with that. I do the same thing. Like I'm able to, yeah. Also, just like it's so interesting. Yeah, like
you
I'll
just see it, right? You
yeah, right.
see, and
And
I
like,
think, yeah, keep going. Sorry.
um, yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like, it'll come from anybody though. Like even like one of my female friends or a lady that I know will say like, "Hey, blah 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 blah," and I'm like, I need to connect you with blah blah, whoever. And like to be honest, like I get very disconnected. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. My thing was maybe to just, tell like whatever, right? But I guess kind of maybe we should just go back to like the catalyst thing, right? Because to tell you the truth, Joy, like I'm just at a point where I've literally said this out loud. I'm like, is there an unsubscribe button? like, like, can I unsubscribe from being a catalyst and a walking fucking tower moment for especially for men? Like I unsubscribe. I don't want it anymore. Like, I'm just like, why? Why? Why do you have to be so magnetized to our light, to our magnitude? And, like, I get that these are men that oftentimes they haven't done the work, right? They have shadows. There's clearly something in us that, they have to come in and be like, "Whoa, okay. I see my shit and I have to like walk away and deal with it now and
Mhm.
heal, right?" And I'm just like,
Do you think it's a phase? I don't
mm,
know. I don't feel like, I don't know, for me, it's slowed down, and, that was certainly how it felt, like, during the summer, and I don't know, past 6 months. Just yeah, it was and it would happen all really fast. I mean, like, within, like, a few days of talking, I said something that right? I was fiery in some way, and they'd have to go off and handle it.
You know what? That's the thing, like, I'm also noticing is, like, both men and women, I'll say for both men and women, a healed woman is a very confronting thing for both the
Yeah, yeah.
unhealed men and women, and especially that feminine fire and that feminine rage. I made a video recently because I was really fired up about something, and it was male coaches um talking about giving women advice on how to be women. And I'm sorry, but that's not an area they should be. Like, what? Who gave you the authority? Like, are you in a woman's body? And it did fire me, as it should, as it should. What? Like, who gave you the authority? You haven't lived in a woman's body. You haven't been conditioned in the way that we have been conditioned. You guys have your own separate conditioning, you know?
Yeah.
And it really fired me up, so I made a video about it because I'm just like, because I see there's some unhealed women that listen to it. And I'm like, "Are you really trying to get advice on how to be a healed woman from a man? Like, what logic is that? What common sense is that?" You know, it's the
Well,
same
yeah.
thing if I were to teach men how to be men. I can't. I don't know. Can I tap into that consciousness? Sure, but will I ever get the full spectrum? No. Right? I grew up in a female body, in female conditioning, and what we were programmed to be and do and behave, you know? And so anyway, I made a video and there were some people who were and I'm like, I didn't even say anything bad. I was just like, my fire was turned on, right?
Right?
And I'm just like, wow, there are people still out there that because see, both men and women are conditioned to think that women are just meant to be nice and smile and pretty and sit quietly and bring peace to the table. Don't disrupt the peace. You see injustice? Be quiet. No, that's not the feminine. The feminine is the full fucking spectrum. You know,
Yeah.
yes, she can be nice. She can be, soft and nurturing and sensual, absolute, but there's another side to her, and we see it in Mother Nature.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that because the visual I was getting while you were talking is like that like a volcano and like that primordial creation,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
That's
And
the energy we're talking about when we talk about the feminine rage and fire. It is that, at least to me, it is that, like it comes from a deep place. And I know you know.
oh, it's exact yeah, I
Comes from a deep place and it just comes right out. Right? And I guess you could say it
had a
comes
different visual when you did that.
we're talking volcanoes. We're being volcanoes.
Just volcanoes.
Well,
But but
and it's this I don't know, I'm hearing the word righteousness.
yeah.
Like it's like a no bullshit.
Oh,
Like
yes.
I'm just not gonna put up with the bullshit. And if you're spitting bullshit at me, I'm gonna call it. You know?
Call it the fuck out.
That's the
And
bullshit.
and see, unhealed men and women will be like, "She's in her masculine." No, actually, she's in her full fucking rage of the feminine, you know? It's like the goddess, and I don't know too much about her, but it always comes up to me as the goddess Kali, right?
Oh, okay,
Like tongue, right? And
wildness and
yeah,
she's kind of destructive. She's very
she
good at
is.
this.
And her partner, Shiva, like, there's a picture that's depicted where she's, like, standing on him, and she's, like, in her full rage, and Shiva's looking at her with full love,
Yeah.
full, like, a total acceptance of her being.
Well, I think what creates these tower moments for others is, well, this is so basic, right? But I mean, it's either the fire, which is love,
Mm,
right? It's a higher love because you're like, I'm not going to let you get away with this anymore.
boundaries.
To yourself, right? And me and whatever else, but mainly to yourself. You are lying to yourself, and I'm calling you out on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can do this with ourselves, right? But obviously we're relational species and beings, and we're all here together. So
Mhm.
there's a reason. It's relational. And you know what was beautiful? It wasn't a tower moment, but they would mirror. I'm talking about these men I would meet over the summer. They would mirror things to me that showed where I wasn't having a boundary or where I needed to have more fire. And it was like, ah, okay, I will accept this. And it didn't turn into a tower because I was open and receptive to it. Right.
Well, it didn't turn into a tower for you, right?
Right.
Like,
Exactly. For me, I just took that and integrated it. I was open to it. It
beautiful.
becomes a tower when we're in resistance or denial or, pretending. I know for me, the big life changes are always when I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I've been lying to myself. I have been lying to myself, and I can't do it anymore, and that means I have to
Right?
change everything." Right?
Yeah.
This whole reality is just gonna go because it's a big lie,
Yeah.
and I fucking made it, and I can't live it anymore, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I know for myself, and I usually tend to say that women, I feel like, tend to accept that raw truth. Yes, I know there because I'll get men saying, "No, but my ex," like, okay, yes, obviously there's some women that they're still operating from, like, that wounded feminine
Yeah,
side, obviously. But I don't know, I feel like, for example, like, you and I, like, will meet the men who are unintegrated and unconscious to shake them up,
yeah.
to have them wake up to their own bullshit, right? And, like, that's kinda what I mean, I'm like, I'm tired of I'm tired of that, like, I don't wanna be doing that. I never when the hell did I subscribe to do that and be that, like, no more. I don't want that. Because, like, I do see what you're saying, that, like, some of these past people, they were just kinda showing you where you still need to place
Well,
boundaries.
I'm still a tower moment for them, right? But
Yeah.
I was able to take, like, what I learned from that encounter and apply it to myself. Um, and not all of them. So it's very interesting. There was guys that meet you and run away, and then you never see them again, right? And you're like, okay. And then others do that, and then they come back after a few weeks. And then, they might be able to stay for a few months, and then you pissed them off again, and they're gone. And then there's others who have become my friends who just stay. They can handle the fire. They want it, and it becomes this beautiful friendship.
But,
Um,
Joy, do you think that behind the scenes they kind of maybe are potentially romantically interested, or
no,
no?
not the two I'm thinking of.
No, no.
um, I don't know. Not at least the two I'm thinking of.
Mhm.
Um, I also, if they are, they need to tell me.
You
Like,
can't feel it? 'Cause I 'cause, like,
how can I feel it? That's why I'm like, not with them because I don't feel it.
oh, okay, okay.
Um, and it's I don't know if they're gonna hate me for saying, but I can't help it. They're not gay, but it's like having a gay friend.
But what? Sorry?
They're not gay, but it's like having a gay
Oh.
friend. I have male, male friends who are gay, but even the non-gay ones, we still, talk about, like, other people we're interested in. Like you would with a girlfriend or, like, a gay friend.
I
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, no, I get what you mean.
I mean that in the best way, everybody. I mean it in the best.
I know what you mean. It's like just basically saying zero interest, zero, like nothing.
They're like brother-sister energy, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um,
I only
which
have.
I think maybe is easier as women to get in that vibe. I don't know, we're not men, we don't know, right? But
Mhm.
no, there's other men I am attracted to, and I put that out there, right? But, so far, I haven't turned into a tower woman for that.
Maybe in a very subtle way. Do you know what I mean? I think because whenever there's like this huge surge of attraction in terms of like romantically, obviously, like I don't think people realize that relationships are your greatest mirror and the greatest
Oh,
work that
yeah.
you're ever going to do, right? Because it's like that level of intimacy that needs to be explored, and all the masks that you need to drop, like that's why relationships tend to be a very confronting, challenging thing. And like it's interesting because I've been hearing some men online who are smart. They have a partner though, a woman that's, you know, probably putting them in, in their place. But and they've said like, listen, um they used to think that, relationships should be easy, and that, just have a woman that brings peace. But they're like, no. They're like, the greatest initiation is to like have a relationship that's challenging, because a lot of the time you have to be looking at your shit and be integrating it and be learning from it, because like that is our greatest work, right? Which that's why I tend to find whenever someone is romantically interested, it's like, yeah, it becomes a greater catalyst versus to the friendships. It's like a slower integration, I think, right? It's a slower thing that they move through that you might mirror to them, right? Like both of you are probably still receiving whatever lessons and stuff, but it's slower, right? Because it's not as charged. That energy is not as charged, right? Does that make sense?
You
Feel
mean
like
the
that's why.
friendships are slower because they're not as charged? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right. So it's like the friends that you have, there probably are shifts and things that they're working on and that you might mirror to them. But like I said, it's just maybe slower because, again, it's a
Yeah.
friendship relationship. And with friendship relationships, it's like, it's not as charged.
I think it started off very catalytic with both of them, and then, the beauty is they didn't run away. They didn't do that running away, they stayed, and, it might have been like, "What are we?" at first, right? And then it was like, "Well, this is where I'm at, this is where you're at," and, you know, we settled on friendship, right?
Mhm.
But, I'm not sure where I'm going with that now, but but no, that's how it happened. But I'm not having as many new people come where it's immediately catalytic. I feel like
Mhm.
maybe it's a shift in my own energy, because now they're more peaceful and um, they've done the work. The men I'm meeting now,
Mhm. Oh,
from what I
really?
can tell,
Yeah.
yes, I was like fucking graduated.
I love that.
I had one relationship end that energetically felt catalytic, but, like, the words actually spoken were nice and, civil, you could say. But behind the scenes, it was very, intense and everything. And oh, yeah, I had to cry and like really release all of that. But once I did that, the ones showing up, not they are doing the work. It's not past tense, right? It is they are on that journey. They are doing it, and it's like, oh wow, yeah, it does feel like graduating a little bit. And but I'm also like, am I going to become the tower moment, and we're just postponing this, big explosion, or is it? I don't know. I've seen a lot of co-creative energy moving, and it's just um, what else? I've seen like I'm just enjoying it, just enjoying each other. It's very beautiful so far. Very different than just a few months ago. It was like chaos. It felt chaotic in a way.
Really? Okay.
But there's just so many of them. There's just
I guess I don't like and this is like obviously we I know you and I are similar, but obviously
yeah,
there's
yeah.
differences in our journeys and stuff like that. And I don't know, I guess I've always placed firmer boundaries. Like what I get, especially with like the friend thing, I get scared of like trying to not trying to. I get scared of like them thinking that I'm leading them on. So I'm very like clear cut with like how much interaction I have with my male friends, right? Um just because I've had so many experiences, Joy, where it's like I thought it was the friendship and then they like would be like, "I'm in love with you." And I'm just like,
of course. I
okay,
get
well
it.
that wasn't my thought, but I would be like, "Are you like, come on, come on, come on."
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, outside of college, I really or no, I once had a coworker who was like my
Mhm.
work husband, completely we both had other, real romantic partners. It was completely platonic. We just got along so well, and we just chose to hang out. To me, it didn't even matter that he was a dude, right? It was just like, "Hey, we both are enjoying this. Let's do our work together," right? But, that might just be a difference between you and I. I had a brother and mostly all male cousins, and just the way I grew up was around a lot of boys. Um, yeah, there weren't men back then as children. But, so I definitely can become one of the guys,
Mhm.
right? I
Okay,
have
interesting.
that energy. Just looking at you and I'm in a freaking t-shirt that's silly, and you're in a freaking hot sweater. So I'm just saying, like, I already have the more she's one of the guys kind of vibe, right? Not that I don't get dressed up and all girly. I can't. It's just I'm also a t-shirt girly, right?
Why not? You
Um
can honor that, right?
yeah, but no, it's just I know I give off that vibe. Um and I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
Um oh, I don't know if I want to tell this story
Okay.
on live.
Okay, okay.
I totally had one where I guess I will tell this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm telling this. So I had this is in the summer, and I had a friend tell me to, like, hey, you should talk to this person. And it was another man, right? So I messaged that man and I was like, hey, my friend so and so told me I should, meet with you and maybe we would have something in common. I don't know. And I don't know why, right? So I start texting with this guy, and I thought we were talking about energy.
Mm.
And I was like, wow, I can sense your energy. And it's real. I don't know. I guess I didn't use the word energy. I've set myself up for this. And I'm like, wow, you're really big. but I'm talking about energy. You know where this is going. I know everybody knows where this is going. Poor little Joy. Yeah. Like, what am I now? I was 40 at the time, and I was still just I was legit seeing things, like, I was in that space. We were having 2 vastly different conversations, me and this man, and I did not realize it until he sent a certain type of picture, and then I was like, wait a minute. I don't think we're talking about the same." So, yes, it does happen to me, Alexandra. Just I I walked right into it, and
Oh my
I
god, that's
just it was
hilarious.
just completely wish thankfully, that was the only time that happened.
You're like, maybe
Um,
I should be clearer on the words that I
well,
say.
it happened so fast, like, within, like, a few hours of text,
Oh
like,
Jesus.
like, it's not, like, days later. No, no, this is the initial conversation, and it was just like,
Oh my
"Oh,
god.
whoa, I'm not going there with you, dude." Like, I'm not
Oh, good lord. Yeah. Did that I'm assuming that ended.
now that we didn't talk much about it,
Yeah.
because I was like, "Well, I mean, can we put this like, he just kept coming back to that, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm done. That's not the route I wanna go with you, and if we can't even hold a conversation without you keep going back to this,
Oh Jesus.
then
Yeah.
boundaries, sorry." Yeah.
Yeah. Um like my mind keeps wanting to go to, but like I'm going to just speak about boundaries for a second, but yeah, for me, my boundaries are so so more so than like obviously when I was growing up. They're very clear cut now. They're very, and I'm open about it. Like I will state my boundaries, and if you can't meet them, then adios, like
Yeah, yeah.
goodbye. Um because I feel like the amount of work, and I don't know if I'm sure you'll resonate with this, Joy. The amount of work when you do on yourself, like it's like sorry, but we're not playing the same game anymore, you know? When you've tapped into your own worth and you see your own value, and yes, we carry such a magnetic light that
Mm.
touches people in such a way where they get blasted into space and they have to do their own work. But like, yeah, I'm so like just protective over this
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
version of myself now.
Well, I think for me, I call it like this past summer was like a master class because I didn't really have those boundaries. And each guy, well, I might have been a tower for him, but he was a mirror for me on where I needed a boundary.
Yeah,
And so it was literally brick by brick, kind
love
of in a
that.
way,
Yeah,
building these boundaries for literally the first time in my life,
yeah.
which is sad in a way, but it's like, I'm glad it's fucking happening. So, right? We're not going to judge that. Um, and now I've noticed, um, when a man sets a boundary, and I'm using that word very loosely, it doesn't have to be like, just him saying no to something, uh,
Mhm.
or his opinion even. I'm counting all of that in there. When he does that, instant respect, right? And I also honor it instantly. I don't even ask him why, right? I don't need to know why. If that's where he's at and that's what he's saying, fuck, beautiful. I can go with that. Um, man, one is hot as hell when they do that. I don't, I guess if you're a man, you can answer for us if that is hot as hell when a woman does that, or if you just find it annoying. I think that is very telling. You should probably look at that, right? Um, but no, and I'm like, it dawned on me the other day when I had a man do that, and I was like, "Oh, this is exactly what I want." Because, I I don't want I've been with passive men where I just kinda steamroll, right?
Mm.
Because
Can I
they're
ask what the like, I'm just curious, what was the boundary that this person placed?
oh, I was like, "Hey, do we wanna chat on another at, like, WhatsApp or something?" And they're like, "No, let's just stay here." I was like, "Okay, alright."
Oh, okay, so
Like that.
it's just that, like
Yeah, just it's not to me, it doesn't have to be this, "I will never blah, blah, blah," right? It doesn't have to be this, like, voice of God, deep boundary. Like, that's why I said I'm using it loosely.
Uh,
But
to me, it's almost like it's just, like, decisive. It's just
yes,
like
there you go. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Because
Well, yeah. It
I almost
feels
feel
like
like
it's oh, you
oh,
go ahead.
sorry. So we literally in the same time. Go for it, Joy. I'll wait.
To me, it one shows, they I feel safe, right?
Mm.
Because I know that he can speak up for himself, and I don't have to guess. That's what happened with my ex-husband. He would not give me those opinions or, just say something simple like that, right?
Wishy-washy
And
energy.
so it was like, it put the burden on me to figure out what that line was for him so I wouldn't, overstep or understep, right? And that's exhausting. That's emotional labor, right?
I for me, what I'm receiving, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but from what I'm receiving, what you're saying is it's not even boundary, it's more just like decisiveness.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it is.
it's knowing where the hell you're fucking going, right? Because I agree, my ex was the same thing. He was just like I dealt with a lot of wishy-washy men where it's
Well,
like,
and it's like,
"Where's your backbone, dude?"
yeah, it's like I can make a decision, no problem. That's easy as fuck. But if I'm in a relationship, right, I want to make a decision that we are both in agreement of. And if for years it's always, I don't care, whatever, you're like, oh my God, just have a goddamn motherfucking opinion.
Shake them.
Please, I don't give a fuck if it offends me. I just want you to say something. But he only would when he was angry, and then I was like, well, at least I'm finally hearing it. But maybe constructive ways,
Well, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
right?
respectfully.
But I think I've also experienced the other end where that they control it becomes more controlling and manipulative and gaslighting and on the other end of the spectrum,
Yeah,
right?
that's toxic.
And then you're like, "Ooh, I feel like I'm boxed in. I don't it's confusing to me, everything," right? So, yeah, the decisiveness, to me, that is a boundary in a way, um, because it's saying, like, I don't know,
See, because
in a rough way. I hate to
what
use that
I'm
expression.
what I think, Joy, is I think women need more boundaries. Because women, like, from the wounded feminine is the one who goes into this pick me energy,
Yeah,
into that competition, into that, like, let me use that lust energy to try and reel you in. And it comes from a place of lack, obviously. It comes from a
yep.
place of not being worthy, uh, not feeling good enough. Again, wanting to be chosen, which I do believe women should be chosen, but it can't come from a place of lack, right? It can't come from a place of this, like, and that tends to, like, when a woman operates from that wounded place, she has zero boundaries. She
Yeah.
goes, "Okay, you want me? Have me. Do anything you want." And that's when they tend to attract men who are like, Perfect. Let me reel her in and let me." Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's what I mean is I think women just need to have more boundaries, is like, "Listen, I know for myself, it's like I have come from not great relationships. I've experienced also betrayals in friendships and stuff like so like now like at my core I love. I truly love and if you're in my circle now, like if you get into my circle, I protect you. I
Yeah.
love you. I'm there for you, you know? But now getting into my circle is just a little it's trickier now, you know? I mean I even have boundaries in a way with like friendships. Like if I don't feel like it's reciprocated,
Oh,
bye.
diving being yeah,
Goodbye. I'm not
reciprocation, yeah.
yeah, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not overgiving myself, right? So I used to be, for example, in friendships, like I used to be the one that would always be reaching out, would always be planning, would always be
Yeah. That's
yeah.
how it was.
Joy this past year
No. It ended, right?
like this like fuck you energy and it not like in a bad way, but like if you want to be in my life, show me.
Yeah.
Show me. I get that we're all busy. I get that we're all dealing with stuff. I get that this world can be heavy, but the thing is if I was able to like have a job like especially when I was like working in the office and stuff like that and have many things going on in my life and still be able to reach out like, for example, to my friends and try and plan something and they're like, "Oh no, sorry, I'm busy. I can only do this or whatever or what." And I would always be the one like texting them again and being like, "Hey, do you want to meet blah blah blah." I'm so done. I'm so
Well,
done.
oh, I had that same moment, and it was in the summer too, and I was like I just woke up one day and I was like, "I just wanna see who texts me
Right?
today," because I'm like, I got a whole list of people I'm so, like, sending messages to daily, and I couldn't even I don't know how many I was doing, but 3 people on that day messaged me, and it was or maybe 4, and I was like, "Okay, these are my core people,"
Yeah.
because, they're
They
they didn't have
actually
to
care.
even say anything. Right, yeah, they actually care. And it's kind of a hard pill to swallow a little bit because when you are the initiator in that, um, it's to me and probably you, it's easy.
Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
take much to text somebody, "Hey, what's up? What you doing? How's life?" You know? Um,
Oh, let me look at my calendar. Okay, I'm free. Like let's not kid ourselves.
yeah.
There throughout the week, there's free time. Like, let's stop shitting ourselves. Let's stop lying, "Oh, I'm busy." No, you just don't want to. Be real. Just say you don't want to, right?
Well, I've more respect if they're just like, "No, I don't," or "I can't." Right?
Or, "No, I don't like you." Like
Yeah, then like, "Oh, well, then let's just then have a good life." Right? Like, no, I'm much rather gonna respect somebody who's like, I can't do that," or "I don't have" at this point in time, that's not something I can handle. And
right?
that doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
Right?
It's
Or
just like, "Oh my gosh, I like you so much more now because
right?
you, like, just told me straight to my face the truth, and I don't have to guess or, like, wonder."
Yeah. Like, even just saying, like, "Sorry, I'm going through a really rough time right now, and
Yeah,
I really just I don't have the capacity." That's fine. If you don't have the capacity to be present with me, hang out with me, see me, talk to me, fine. Tell me. Sometimes I don't have the capacity
yeah,
too. Um, but you know what's interesting, Joy? Since I started to do that, it's interesting because there's this especially this one friend that I consider she's my sister, right? And I really do try and like she gets more busy and blah blah blah. But even with her, it's always been like me, and I stopped. And it took a couple months, but she's the one like, "Hey, hey," she's initiating. And I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, really? Have the tables turned? Interesting." You know? Um,
well,
and it's just yeah.
I think it also goes in conversation, though, because you and I are having a beautiful back and forth, right? I've had conversations where I'm doing all the listening, and when I do get a turn to talk, it somehow gets turned back on to that other person, right? And it's like, I didn't get to finish my story, but okay. And for a while, I viewed that as love, as me holding space, but then I'm like, "Oh, that's love to them, that's not love to me,"
Mm,
right? From me or them,
mm,
right? I'm not honoring my time and space,
yeah.
right? I feel drained after listening to somebody talk for 45 minutes, and I don't like, you've talked about this a million times before, like, I guess you need to vent it out, and I get that, but, like, I don't have anything new to add, right?
Mhm,
And it's like, I had to take a step back from those relationships too, because I'm like, I need to figure out what's the most loving thing I can do for myself
mm,
and
mm.
them, because and that might be not engaging that behavior.
That much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting 'cause, I also have, a friend like that, which I've kind of moved away from, and the funny thing is I tend to be the one where I hold space too. Like, I tend to be the one and a lot of people will tell me, "Oh, you're so mysterious," right? And it's like, "Well, you haven't asked that many questions," and and at the same time, I'm also gauging how much I can share based on their
Mhm.
capacity to receive. I've only had like, it's very rare for me to meet somebody where I'm, like,
Yeah.
expressive, right? But, I had a friend where even if it was just coming from me, and then I was just waiting for her to, like, engage back, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, yes, it's great that she can hold space for me, but then I would be like, "I need your like,
Say
what?"
something.
Yeah, like, she like, I would tell her about something, I would, express something, maybe something I was going through, and then she'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah, that doesn't work either.
Um,
No.
um,
Mm.
I'm like, "It's" and I would say like, "Okay." She'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, that's hard." I'm like,
Here's the contents of my heart and soul. What do you think? Okay.
"Wha
Oh,
but
okay.
do you have" like, I'm like I was actually shocked. I'm like, "Maybe she just doesn't have the emotional intelligence."
Yeah.
I don't know that, but that's weird, and I had to distance myself because 'cause I'm like, "Why?" Like, okay, that's great. I can pour myself into
Yeah.
this container of, like, expressing myself, but then she didn't have the capacity to receive, and that doesn't work as well.
No. No. It's it's a it's a working dynamic.
Reciprocity,
Yeah.
reciprocating process, like, oh, I'll just add this because that's kind of what I wanted to say is I do think and then, like, just going back to dating, it's like women, I do think, need to have more boundaries because, like, hell, we've
Oh,
gotten used, we've gotten abused, we've gotten
yeah.
we, um we're getting breadcrumbs from men, and we were pedestalizing that. We were like, "Oh, he texted me after, uh, a whole week. Oh my god." And like, "No, what? What?" Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, right? And that's what I mean is I think women do need to have firmer boundaries of like, "You want me? Show me. Show me." But I'm not like there are certain things you have to meet in order to gain my trust. Because boundaries, you can always move them. And you do tend to move them, right? Because, for example, I'll tell you this, Joy, because I know um, sex is sacred.
Yeah.
Sex is so sacred. No one's touching this temple unless they've earned earned my trust and they fully have committed to me. No one's touching this. Are you like what? Women, their womb space is so powerful. So powerful. And like I didn't know this until like I really started to dive into that feminine consciousness and power. Like our womb space will actually take on their trauma and transmute it on their behalf.
Oh, yeah. totally.
Are you I'm sorry, but you no, 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 no.
That's why you wanna well, I would say not just boundaries, but standards, right?
Well, yeah, same.
I realized my whole I called it my compass as far as, like, my men picker thing. I was like, "This is some old ass technology. I gotta toss that one and get a whole new one because I don't want to even be attracted to the type of men I was before, right?
Mm.
And I'm not. But, yeah, I was like, I had to reevaluate a lot. And that is a lot of inner work. Like, why am I attracted to men who control, right? Or are extremely passive? Why do I go to these extremes? Why do the men who actually have their shit together not, I'm going to these extremes for a reason and not men who can actually meet me, right? So I had to really look and I had to go deep for that and I won't get into it all, but I disassembled it basically and was like, okay, this is my why. And I can understand that now, but I also can release it, you know, and honor, the me that had to go through it all. But, and then, I don't know, now it's different. So it is layered. The boundaries, yeah, like you said, to me, they're different than the standards.
Really? I don't know,
Well,
find
but I've been playing with it because earlier I was like, I was gonna ask you, like, do you think standards and boundaries are the same? But maybe if you nuance it, they could be a little different. Oh, we want to do that live. Figure it out. Um,
I don't know,
hmm. Well,
I kind of find
boundaries
them
are more. I don't know. Let's just say boundaries are more personal, and standards are for others, right? For like what you're looking for.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, that's something I have to sit
It's
with, but I don't
kind
know.
of I don't know. Maybe they're intertwined,
I
right?
think they are.
Because I think they rise together. When you build those boundaries, you're
Yeah.
simultaneously creating a new standard, and it's getting
Yeah.
smaller and smaller as who's in that pool
Yeah.
that meets those standards, and you are fucking okay with that.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least I am. I don't care that there's only 4 men in this pool. It makes
Ah!
makes it a little easier.
Honestly, it's better that way because then it's like, like, personally, like, for all the women out there, when you do have such high standards or boundaries, whatever, the right man will meet them.
Mhm.
He will. Only little boys run away and they're like, "Oh, let me find an easy woman." Okay, go find one. You're not anyway. This is like you're going to be running from easy woman to easy woman, which this is why I feel like wounded females really need to also wake up and not allow these men to use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Well, you can feel it. You can feel it when they're using you.
You can feel it when you're embodied.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
You do like, if you're operating from a wounded feminine space, it's actually they take it as validation. They take it as, "Oh, he loves me." That's what I mean. They take the breadcrumbs for that validation of like, "Oh my god, he did this. So he that means this." No, honey. No, honey. No, 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 baby girl. No. No. A man that really loves you and cherishes you and values you, he will rise to your and he will actually think of your standards and your boundaries as like, "Wow, that's a woman. That's a woman that I have to rise to me. Oh my god, she doesn't allow just any man access to her. That's sexy." You know?
Yeah.
That's how a man actually thinks, is like, "Wow, okay, like, the with this woman, I can't play any games." Like, she's gonna make me rise to, like, the highest version of myself. There's no games, and that is, like, queen energy,
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, it
that's
is.
That's who, like, women deserve to have. Boys, sorry, no, not allowed. Go do your boyish things somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, go learn, go heal. Go heal your bullshit
Well,
within you.
that's who we are tower moments for is the boys.
Yeah.
No, if they can
Which
he
they
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 can
sometimes do a good job masquerading as, "I'm healed." Okay. Haha. Sure, sure.
mhm,
Come meet me, come meet a healed woman, we'll see how healed you are.
or they gaslight you.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, yeah, I'm over that.
Oh, yeah, I you know what? My sort of discernment is sharp. It's sharp.
Well, that's what it does, right? I've realized that myself, like, okay, if I am confused and I ask for clarity and it doesn't get rid of the confusion
Right?
or adds to my confusion when it's supposed to be doing the opposite, or he's withholding information for whatever fucking reason, right? Then I'm gonna
I
back away.
sniff that shit real
Yeah. It took me a bit to be like, mm, I don't it's hard because I loved him, but it was like, I can't accept that. That's a
yeah.
boundary, right?
Yeah. But see,
And a
that's what
standard that's not being met, right?
exactly. But see, that's what I mean, Joy, is like I feel like women do have to have those very high
Yeah.
boundaries and standards because like I said, the right man, he'll rise to meet them. He'll rise to meet them because he like men who are healed, they know that like a lot like almost every single woman on this planet has been mistreated, abused, been in a toxic relationship. And yes, sorry, healed men, you're going to have to do the extra work.
Well, it's
You're going to
just
have to.
that care and compassion and love, right?
Exactly.
Um, to know that the version of us that lived through that is still in here, right?
Oh,
And even though we're on this healing journey, there might be aspects of that older version of us that come out every now and then, just like them, right? And their little boys and their little or younger men's self that
mm,
went through toxic stuff. So
absolutely.
in
But
an
that
aligned, high vibe relationship, both are going to be aware and considerate of
of
this.
that. Exactly. Exact. And that's why like I do want to make it clear both for men and women. It's like don't think that when you do attract this like healed person that it's going to be a perfect beautiful
Mm.
relationship in the beginning. It like there's going to be things that are going to be coming up in both of you that you guys are going to have to be like mature enough to hold space for, to understand and to heal cuz I heard a saying and it's from I don't know if you know these people and follow them. Yeah, it was from Preston Smiles and his wife Alexi Panos.
Mhm.
They're great. They're honestly like they talk about relationship dynamic and I love their talk about that. Um I don't I'm not sure if it came from Preston or Alexi or both, but basically it's like we come through into this world through partnership, right? Through like obviously both our mom and dad like we came through in union, right?
Yeah.
And yes, we have been traumatized, betrayed, whatever. We have this trauma and pain. And like yes, there's a certain amount of work that you need to heal on your own to just be aware of like your shadows and stuff like that. But true healing comes back into union. We
Yeah.
came from union, we have to come back into union to actually truly deeply heal. It's not like I'm healed and then another healed person comes and Oh my god, there's nothing that comes up. What?
Well, to me, it would be not leaving and both staying
Mhm.
in that fire, leaning in and being like, okay, let's explore this, right? And
Yeah.
it would be a discussion. And I know a lot of men, when they get upset, they need to take time away. I'm okay with that, but it's like, but when we come back, I have to discuss it. There is no shoving it under the rug anymore. That's a
Yeah.
boundary, right? I've lived that. That doesn't do shit.
Nope. Nope.
Doesn't help either one of us. I need to talk about it. And the
Absolutely.
container we do it in, if you need, obviously we want to be in a calm,
Yeah.
mood. I I can get calm pretty quick, but sometimes other people take longer. I'm okay with this, and just really learning that and figuring that out. Oh, I actually can't wait. You know what I mean? Like I can't wait to experience moving through a conflict in a healthy way inside a romantic relationship container.
Someone who leans in and doesn't run away or disconnect, right? Because I've had the experience with my ex where his body was there, but he was I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm talking to the wall. And then like Joy, it was the most frustrating thing ever because I would be expressing myself, expressing maybe an issue that we were having. And then he like after I think I talked and I said I expressed myself for like 20 minutes or 10 or whatever, and he would just be blank and I'd be like, the did you hear anything I said? And he's like, "What?"
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh my fucking
what?
god, did I just express like what?"
Well, not just it's like a knife in the heart.
Yeah.
Um,
That's not holding safe space at all. That actually creates mistrust
Yeah,
within us.
it makes you not want to do that again because you're fearful of I'm probably gonna get stabbed in the heart again and pour my heart out to have him go, "What?"
Right?
Yeah,
And
and
like
it's like, do I even wanna mess with that? Is it easier to just shut up and deal with it?
right? Well, that's what
We're not
eventually
saying
happened.
we're not saying that's healthy. We're just saying that's what it feels.
Well, you know what? When you are dealing with a person like that, this is the pattern of most women is we
Yeah,
eventually be like, "Well, he's not receiving me. He's not receiving what I'm saying. So what's the point of me expressing at all?" And that's when we start to shut down. We start to emotionally distance and detach from the relationship. And the man will go, "Oh, this is great. She's not expressing herself." Actually, that's your warning
red
sign.
flag. Yeah. Not a red flag isn't a bad thing, but like a yeah, warning sign's probably better.
Well, like
Sirens going off.
sirens going off of like, "Bro, she's about to leave your ass. She's planning. She's planning now." Like
Yeah,
if your woman is not if like that's the thing is like men need to learn that they need to be the container to hold her waters. And if they don't haven't developed that container or if they're scared of that, like you're never going to have a healthy relationship. Sorry.
well, she's gonna figure it out more than likely before he does, right?
What about him
That
not
he
holding?
can't hold her
Well, if
waters.
she's healed, if she's healed, like, you know.
Well, even unhealed, I mean, I got divorced before figured this shit out. Like, eventually you reach your limit.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
then you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
well, you learn from it. That's a whole other thing, right? But even unhealed women eventually are just like, this
Oh
isn't,
yeah. But
and that's
it does take a bit
does
of
take her a bit to
yeah.
give and give and give, and then to just be hit with walls. And then you're like, fuck it. This is too painful. And
Yeah.
I don't want to live in such pain anymore.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And for us, it's emotional, but it's in our bodies,
Yeah.
right? We literally, it's emotional pain, but physical pain even to hear that what totally feels like you feel it, and you're like, oh, you literally just stabbed me. and I gotta go cry, and then you're probably gonna make fun of me, or, I'll be like, "Why are you so upset?" And then you're like, "Just fuck off." Just
Like, leave. Goodbye.
I
Goodbye.
can't handle this anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. It's
but
it's
I know for, like, you and I, there's no way in hell we're gonna mess
oh,
with
no,
that
no,
shit
no.
anymore. No.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's so
We
dumb.
have learned. We have learned,
Big
and we
time.
have done the work, and that to wind us all the way back to the beginning is what makes us the tower moments, right? Like
Mhm.
we said earlier, we're calling out the BS, right? We ask
Oh,
for clarity when we need it. Um, we're blunt, we're bold. We're gonna I that's what I just love exploring my wild, bold,
yeah.
whimsical side of myself. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If you don't even like think this is the most beautiful thing, go away.
Right?
Go away.
Right?
I don't need you. I want a man who he doesn't need to join in, but he needs to admire it about me.
Oh, absolutely. But that is what's sexy is if a man can like look at your wildness and be like, wow, that woman is a force of nature.
Yeah.
And you know what? Okay, actually, this is excellent because this is what I wanted to bring back in. Kind of when we were talking about that feminine rage. And
Yeah.
like to be honest, and I will say this, even with me healing and me getting comfortable with my own fire and that intensity of my fire, sometimes I'll even see it in other women who are also healing and reclaiming that. And it's interesting because there's a girl I followed and she was tapping into her feminine rage. And I will say, even as a woman who's on this journey of healing that, reclaiming that, it was also triggering me, but I was conscious of it. I was like, "Oh, there is that programmed part of me that's, like, wanted to be tell her, like, 'Simmer down,'" you know? But I recognized it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, wait, 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 why?" Like, "No, no, 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 no. This is beautiful." She saw injustice, and she spoke from her fire. This is what we want, right? But it's
Yeah.
like it's even in women where we're like, no, 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 like who are you to, be doing that and blah blah blah, right? And so yeah, that's even still like I still have to recognize that and be like, program part of me, shut the fuck up. Like this
I
is
think that's what sets somebody apart is you think before you catch it before you lashed out at
yeah.
it, right?
Oh yeah. No,
I'm not saying you would have lashed
yeah.
out, but you know what I mean? Like in that example, an unhealed person wouldn't have questioned it. They would have
Yeah.
left a comment. Or even if they didn't do that, just in their own self judge her,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
is still energetically the same thing, really. But when that happens now, that whole catching yourself and
Yeah.
reflecting it back doesn't even matter what she's talking about,
Yeah.
right? Or what she's doing.
Yeah.
The fact that you caught it and was like, ah, I have this urge to tell her to to load it, right? And it's like, oh, but that's the mirror. And then, oh, it's so gorgeous.
It is,
So,
yeah.
and but I can't even talk, but it's like, I want that, and I want my universe to show that to me because it's like, I want to know that's one of the clearest ways for me to see where those are, my blind spots, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
know it's a
that's
journey. I know those exist in me. And I haven't mastered how to look them at myself and everything. And if you have, beautiful. But for me, one of the easiest ways to do it is to just be out there listening to others, seeing how
yeah,
they respond to me, right?
yeah,
And listening.
absolutely, and then catching it when it comes up in you, right? But, kinda like yeah, just continuing talking about that feminine rage or that feminine fire and intensity of, like, how often people will perceive it as too much,
Mhm.
or she's in her masculine or whatever. I wanted to say that's the eros that first women deeply crave within them, and that honestly is really sexy when a man can, like, accept her full in her fullness, in her intensity, because that's the eros, by the way, guys, that you also want. That's a woman that's literally making love to life. Like,
Yeah.
hello, you
Imagine how
know?
she's gonna make love to you if that's how she's gonna get love to
Right? Like, that's literally what it is. That's what
me.
it is, right? And yeah, it's beautiful from the women's side. It's like if a man can hold that and not be burned by
Oh,
it,
you
but
just wanna
instead gets transformed by it.
yeah.
Right, and it's just it goes back to that image of Callie on, her foot on top of Shiva, and Shiva's just, like, in love with her intensity and her wildness. It's like that, and it's interesting, I talked to a lady yesterday. She actually booked a heart mapping session with me, and that's what she was missing. I saw her beautiful sensuality. Oh my god, it was
Mhm.
so there, but I'm like, I can tell you're missing the wildness. I can tell you're missing the fire. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, you have to go into the woods and fucking scream. And she's like, I think I have to do that. But I know in the beginning it's scary. It's scary
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
express yourself, especially if you've been told by your family and everyone else to shush, be quiet, be nice, da 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 da, right? No. Let that, like,
Well, like,
lioness out, you know?
I like to view it as like an exploration and adventure in a way for myself. Like, I don't know. It's the whole living authentically that, oh, it's just so beautiful and to
Yeah,
embrace. And I can still catch myself from like, am I being too much? And then I'm like, time out. I am being myself. And this is me. And this is how I actually want to act. This is no mask, right? And I'm like, that's what I actually want. I don't this is my pre-programmed, right? Or
yes,
old programming's making me question, ooh, Joy, you're reaching, people, this is the limit most people can hold. Right.
yes,
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, fuck you. No, keep going. We're trying something new now. We're gonna just be weird and we're
right.
gonna do our weird thing and we're gonna be silly. We're gonna be sexy, whatever I'm fucking feeling in that moment, right?
I love that, and I love that you mentioned that because, Joy, it's interesting that that wound still also comes up in me as
Oh,
well. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, like, am I too much?" And then, like, I do catch myself, like, honestly, do you really give a fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you're expressing yourself. If someone can't take the heat, goodbye. Leave. Like, you're not meant for me, that's fine, right? But yeah, that wound, like, it's interesting. It's like even, when you're healing, you're doing the work, you've done a lot of work, you've done, dark night of the soul. Like, there's still these tender parts of us that still come up. That
Yeah.
still come up.
I think I think eventually they might not, but you gotta the whole catching it and not conforming like you used to. In the
Mhm.
past, it would have been like, "Oh, shit. I better shut up." You know? I am making myself too big,
Yeah.
right? I am not an easy pill to swallow. I should somehow make myself smaller. I'm almost 6 feet tall. There's no way to make myself smaller. But,
Yeah.
but, no, or quiet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and no, getting rid of those and or being able yeah, like you said, you'll still hear them, but then you just tell them to fuck off. And
Yeah.
what? I don't know, we're not men, but I would hope they do the same in their own way, right?
For their own healing, you mean?
Yeah. But I think for women, obviously we can speak to that. We are very much conditioned to tone it the
Yeah.
fuck down.
Yep.
We're all level 100 and we are told to keep it no more than 25, right?
Right? Yeah.
And for society's sake.
Mm.
And if you actually study women's history, you can see, when she used to get the vapors and, all these things and the anxiety. It's because we have to deny who we are to
Yep.
maintain the social status quo. And
Yeah.
I know men have their own version of that.
Yeah. Of
We're
course.
not saying they don't, but we're not men. We haven't lived it. This is what we've lived. So we're
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's when we diminish our own life force, our own light. And you can tell when a woman isn't shining as brightly. You can see it. It's like written all over her face.
well, I think that's where we're tower moments for those women too, because they see us doing it. I don't know about you, but I'll have other women be like, Joy, you're so inspiring. Or I saw you live through this and just the way you went at it, and you took action so quickly or whatever. And it's like, you just go on the internet and you talk about shit, right? You put your face out there and you're not even wearing makeup, right? And like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. And it's like, you could. It's in you to do whatever that looks like for you,
Mhm.
right? Um, but I mean, I'm glad you're admiring it about me, but be it use me as a fucking mirror or a tower and change for yourself because it's really all self-love. That's
Yeah.
what it all is.
Yeah.
Um, that's to me what it all boils down to, right?
It
Is
that's it.
when you're at this level, you will have a very high self-love.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's how it projects outward. Is like, I just fucking love myself so much. I don't give a rat's ass that I don't have makeup on and I'm wearing a fucking t-shirt, right? This is me having fun. This is me doing me. And I fuck the conformities, right? No, this is raw. This is real. This is me. Right?
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful, right? It's loving yourself through the journey. So through your own beauty, through your happiness, through the mess, through the anger, through the mistakes, through the fuck ups. It's loving yourself fully and authentically through that because absolutely throughout this journey we're going to make mistakes. Absolutely there's going to be fuck ups. But can you love yourself through it? Can you pick yourself up and be like, "You know what? I fucked up here," right? That's the humility that is also needed on this journey, but it is really interesting that you said, like, that you get women that are inspired by that because I get both ends of the spectrum. I get women who are inspired and women who are triggered.
Well, those are your
Triggered
tower moment women. Those are your tower moment women.
if they accept it, right? Because they'll end up attacking me, right? I got it. I feel like I went through an initiation phase. I don't know if I'll still if there's going to be more, but I literally like when I started to put myself more out there and be really raw, authentic and real and really started to give zero fucks about what anybody else thought or like how they perceived me because I just understand how your perception of me is just
Yeah.
your own shit. That's what it is, right? Um, but yeah, when I started to put myself out there, I had a lot more attacks, both from men and women. Of like men were kind of more on the predatory side. Sometimes they were very like not nice at all. And I also had women of being like, "Oh, it's because you're pretty or this or that," and I learned not to respond to those things. I didn't even allow it to touch me. I was like, "I know where this is coming from. I know this is coming from a wounded place." And it's really interesting, Joy, because I'm seeing less of it now. So I
Yeah.
wonder if it's because I went through that initiatory
I think
stage.
so. I think in art is phases, like how I am with the men, right? And then I'm not getting tower moment men as much now. I'm getting
Good.
when
You unsubscribed from
subscribe somehow. I figured it out. I read the fine print.
I have to find my I don't know, I have to find mine, I think, the unsubscribe button because I feel like it happened recently, but I was like, "Can I
Aw.
unsubscribe?" Yeah.
No. Well, use them as mirrors if you can,
I mean,
and refining
yeah,
refining that those bricks of boundaries, right?
yeah,
Put some
yeah.
more what is this stuff in between bricks?
Oh,
Caulk?
I don't think that no, isn't it concrete? Isn't it concrete or
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they have I need to
I
watch
know what you
more home
mean.
improvement
I know it yeah.
shows.
That stuff. Clean bricks. That
Yeah,
stuff that makes it stick.
the refinement. We can call it the concrete between the bricks, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think caulk is what you put between tiles. Don't know
Yeah.
how I know that. Could be completely wrong too. But
Don't know.
no, I mean, well, I have a service where I help people through these tower moments because, oh man, kind of reversing it a little bit now, but like I've lived them and I'm sure you have too, and they are not easy when either if it's triggered by someone else, doesn't even matter how it gets triggered, right? Um, walking through a tower moment, scary. It can be very scary. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if
Did I
joy
freeze?
has frozen just for me.
Can you not hear me? Because I'm not frozen for me.
I don't know. Might have lost joy.
No, I'm right here. Can you hear me? I don't know if you're not frozen for me, but apparently I'm frozen for you.
Alrighty. Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm the one that's frozen or if she's frozen. I have no idea. Um,
Alexandra, you're
I
not.
guess I'm gonna take this as a sign that this is this is done. Like I said, I don't know if it's from my side or her side, but I'm gonna have to close this.
Bye, everybody.